live in the dungeon. This is the Dream Warrior Review. I'm Kurt Thomas.
I'm Strawn.
And this is episode 79. Cargo. I feel like I'm going to turn into a zombie.
Really? So, compared to the two that we did recently, I would say that this has got some depth and some deepness. Certainly the darker.
So I'm glad that this is a Australian movie because it's kind of, for me, maybe redeemed some of the things I liked about Australian movies.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because we've seen some bad ones recently.
Yeah, we have seen some really bad ones. And you know what's really interesting is when we were watching, did you notice almost the reverse of the baby shot?
Yes.
Yes, you noticed that, right?
Yeah,
because as soon as I saw the baby, I was like,
it was the reverse, kind of.
Yeah, it was. It was the baby in the foreground with them looking in the background.
We're talking about Killing Ground, right?
Yeah, Killing Ground, right.
But see, that was different, though, because you knew there was danger coming towards the baby.
Right.
This was like...
And that's true, but at the same time, you realize that this is a totally dangerous situation.
What I liked about that scene, though, was awesome because it was... the baby was still kind of shielded from what was happening.
Right.
And like facing the other way while the father was freaking out.
No, that was amazing. No, don't get me wrong. That was the most amazing shot in that film, and probably the only shot in that film that made it worth it.
Yeah.
But this did have a shot that was very much like it.
Is he British or I can't remember? Martin Freeman. I think he's British.
He's an actor. Who gives a shit?
I think he's British because I was surprised when he was in.
Yeah. No, he's British.
I saw him recently in an American movie.
He's in all kinds of American movies.
It was that big one though, wasn't it?
He's in Mission Impossible all the time.
Huh.
Right. So, So scary film.
Well, let me see what. I keep going up.
Okay, there we go.
After an epidemic spread all over Australia, a father searches for someone willing to protect his daughter. This wasn't a zombie movie, even though it was about zombies and a zombie virus. It was more about, it was a movie about families.
Yeah.
And what would you do for your kid?
Yeah. And what would you do?
Basically, if something like this happened.
And yeah, I don't want to give any of it away.
So it was a journey. It was a character journey too. I mean, it was all about character and what happened along the way.
Just gripping. Absolutely,
it was pretty good.
It was a pretty good gripping film. The acting all the way through it was superior. I mean,
he carried the film. I mean, absolutely carried
totally.
it. Yeah,
he totally carried the film. Don't get me wrong. He totally carried it. I swear, the only character that I had problems with was his wife.
Really?
Yeah, I just didn't believe it. I just for some reason I just didn't think that they ever connected. But that was all right because you know why. Because she wasn't around that long.
One problem I had about this was some of the stuff that happened that moved the story along.
Right.
Was based on stupid things that they did.
Right. And they were really stupid. Really stupid. Really stupid.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you are right.
Like there's one scene where he's turning around and something's happening.
Right.
And he basically put himself in danger for some
right.
stupid,
Yeah, but how about her?
Yes.
Hello.
Yeah.
I mean,
And she got on the thing.
Yeah, she got on the thing with the thing, and then there was another thing and the thing, and
the thing happened to her.
And you got that shot.
Yes.
that the typical horror shot where you're looking at her face, and then all of a sudden she's sucked back.
Yes.
Right. That's a horror standard. I've actually done that so many times in so many different ways. I've used special effects. I put people on sleds and pulled them back into the dark before, so to get that kind of a feel.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah,
I've always liked that effect.
Yeah, I thought that
I like the new twists on it too, where you see somebody getting picked up by something that you can't see.
Right. Yeah. But Martin.
Oh, I don't know. I kind of like the fact that
Martin was so cool.
Yeah, he was.
He was just, and the
well,
thing
you
is,
saw him totally change during the whole movie. That's what's awesome about it.
Right. I mean, he was doing this character, and
he was very positive at the beginning, like, oh, this is, we have enough food for 3 months. This is
right, and then and then things just kind of
gave his wife a gift and was like, everything was all happy, and then something happens and he starts getting really dark. Especially toward the end, he was like, yeah.
Couple of good jump scares in there.
I like the guy that played the villain was, at first I wasn't sure about him. I thought he was kind of weak, but then I kind of liked him, like the fact how they played it. I guess it's hard to talk about it without really ruining it, the whole thing.
Yeah, because there wasn't to me it wasn't weak as much as it was ineffectively sloppy, and in the end it worked for his character. So
and it was all outdoors.
It was all outdoors, yeah. I mean,
there wasn't really any sets or anything.
Yeah, there was a boat. I mean,
a boat and where the guy was by the tractors and stuff.
Right, that was it. All the way through, and I have to say that there was a race thing that it came into it, the Aborigines, and it was just cool the way that it turned out in the end.
Well,
to be a turn, a sort of a backwards 2.5 flip against racism, and I really enjoyed that. I mean, in the end, here's what happens with this film, all the way through. You keep thinking that this is horrible, that this is
it's slow, it's horrible.
Well, not that it's slow. I mean,
I had that feeling for a while.
Martin is so great to watch.
No, like I said, he carried it because I thought it was slow in the scenes where he wasn't in.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But watching him carry it through at the same time,
and he really carried,
literally carried
the whole thing,
right? And thus the name Cargo.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you're actually getting dragged down with him mentally, and then all of a sudden.
Yeah, it was very hopeless.
Yeah.
Like, I had this hopeless feeling watching it, like, oh, this is hopeless. And
then...
It wasn't a horror movie. I realized that very early on.
Yeah, right.
Like, okay, this is all about characters.
Yeah, it is. It's about characters, yeah.
But yeah.
And
I enjoyed it, but I don't think I really would give it a 5-star rating.
No, I wouldn't give it a... You know what? It deserves, to me, a good solid 3.2. It's a... Yeah, it's about there. What do you rate it?
It's I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of right. I'm a little bit higher maybe, just because I just liked his performance really a lot.
Right.
So I mean, I feel like he could have, maybe if it was a better written movie, or maybe I don't know, maybe they paced it differently or something, I might like it more.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
I enjoyed it.
3.4 is kind of maybe a little bit higher. Couple 0.10
higher than me.
Yeah, I had to do better than you.
Well, it's a competition thing.
But those 0.2 extra that I gave were for him.
Oh, so, gotcha. Okay,
yeah.
I can see you're kind of judging the film completely on him, and I was kind of judging
basically the
whole film. I was trying to get the gestalt.
If I was gonna do the whole
gestalt,
film, I would probably do it a 3.
I'm using a $10 word here, the gestalt.
Yes.
I have this memory of filming a TV movie of the week, and in the middle of it there was a dream sequence.
Story time. It's story time with Mick. 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 Story time with Mick.
In this dream sequence, it's written in the script. Eventually, we fade from black, and we're in the middle of an African desert, and all of these tribesmen are sitting in loincloths, sitting holding spears, but they're sitting on the ground, and it's a dry lake bed, so it's cracked, that kind of thing. And I can't remember what the dialogue or anything was like that, and the thing is we've been in San Diego, and honestly we hadn't done the thing. I mean, it was a story thing. I think I told you about where we got really, really good on racing the cars around.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So it's very into that. We had this dream sequence to finish up. So the very last day of filming, all the trucks go back, and we head for the dry lake bed north of LA. Finally get up there in the dark, and we're waiting for the sun to come up, which is something that you never want to do. I mean, I got to tell you, every director wants to have the sun coming up shot. And here's the problem. That is something that happens only twice a day and is incredibly difficult to get. It's, for one thing, it takes a better DP than you think, because the director of photography actually has to be able to shoot that without screwing it up, which happens all the time. But not only that, it's that frozen moment, and you have to be a place where you can see it, right? And so we're up there and we're waiting for the sun to come up. And so wardrobe has got the loincloths on everybody, and I have to say that just in general it's pretty stupid. It's a really dumb idea. There was something about it that was very dreamlike, but film dreamlike, not actually dreamlike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like, well, yeah, I know. It was like writing the word limbo on a script. Well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to put them in limbo. What do you think? So then it says interior limbo. And you go, and the first thing that you want to say is, well, how do you know that limbo is an interior or an exterior? See?
Yeah.
And you know what? The discussion goes downhill from there. It's not like it's a recoverable fault. It's like you're just going to eat crap. So as soon as you see something like that in a script, you go, oh, really? Really? We're going to do an African tribe sitting in the middle of the cracked earth desert as the sun is coming. Really? What did I do to you? I mean, God. So we're set up with the shot, right? Everybody's out there. It looks like we're going to be really successful at it. And so cameras sitting down like this, and I think that we had another camera, like, doing a close up on somebody, and the wide angle camera is sitting right next to like one of the Zulu warriors, right? And so we're waiting, and okay, roll cameras. The sun starts out. Oh, I remember one of the cameras looking over the shoulder of one of the guys at the sun coming up, right? So he's got that point of view. And the other one's like, and they're both kind of like shooting across the same close Zulu warrior. And as the sun comes up and it starts to light the scene, and it's like, oh yeah, this is great. Oh, we're loving it, because we weren't even rolling sound. There was no point. I mean, it was just going to be whatever sound we put in. And so the sun comes up, and all of a sudden I hear this, fuck, oh, God. And then the second camera guy goes, oh, God. So
they were shooting each other?
No. Worse than that, the one warrior in 20, right? They had like 20, 25 warriors. The one that we're looking at from one side and we're looking at from the other side has a watch on.
Oh, man.
It's a great big, like, cheap Rolex version of a watch. and the thing is both camera, and I saw it in dailies, and it was enough to make you just crack up, because here's the thing is it caught the sun perfectly and became a flare for both cameras. So the watch could not be ignored. There's just no way to do it. It caught the flare, right? As the sun was coming up, the first thing that anybody would have noticed was the watch.
Did you recut it and sell it as a watch commercial?
You know what? You know what I did? I went and looked for another job, because that was the last day of filming.
Sequence. Why couldn't you have watched it?
I don't care. You know what? I don't care. Didn't care at the time. Don't care now. I still don't care to this day. But I did think it was pretty damn funny.
So they had to reshoot the scene, probably.
Not
or they
my
just
problem.
go with it the way it was.
Not
so I want to know now.
Not my
I want to see
problem.
this.
I'm trying to remember the name of the song of the film. Tainted Blood, maybe.
Tainted Blood. It was on one of our episodes.
Who was the director? Who was the director? Matthew Patrick. That was the one. Okay. Oh boy, that was like bugging me. Okay.
Well, it was like 1993. It's been a while.
Well, it's been a couple weeks. Yeah. It's been a while.
So I'm going to watch that now.
And that was one of the diseases of the week.
Got a 4.6 out of 10 based on 208 votes on IMDb.
I can't believe it got 208 votes.
I know.
Why would anybody care? I have to say this. Raquel Welch. I don't know if I told you the story before, but this is the one where Raquel Welch is sitting in her chair in the garage, and and I came in. They were sitting. Craft Service was in the garage. I was doing one of my very infrequent visits to this particular set. Walked to the house, was kind of looking, yeah, I'm doing my job. Go out to check out Craft Services. I open the door, and there's somebody else coming up the single step, right? And I've already got momentum going forward. And so I squeeze over to the right, but the step doesn't even exactly, it's not even as wide as the door itself. And so my foot slips going down, and I pitch over to the right and take a chair out with a woman sitting in it, and it's Raquel Welch. And so we tumble onto the floor of the garage, and she was not young, and I felt really bad about it. Ooh. But the great thing is when we uncrashed and stuff, and she's sitting back there, and I introduced myself. I said, "Hi, my name's Strawn," and she goes, "Hi, my name's Raquel." And it's like, yeah, I know. It was like, you have to understand that to me, she was a star. I mean, she was the big time. She was like, you saw her. She was sort of like a Kardashian would be now. Ugh. Well, I mean, better, classier than that, much classier. But I mean, that much press. She was there all the time and did all these great '60s shows. I mean, she was in the Million Years BC.
Yeah.
I was like, oh yeah, and she was beautiful. I mean, she was still beautiful. Mm-hmm. So yeah, there's that.
Well, at least she didn't break any Raquel Welch bones or anything.
So I think that we're done, right?
This is Kurt Thomas along with Mick Strawn. Thank you for listening to the Dream Warrior Review. If you have any questions or just have feedback for our show, we welcome them at dreamwarriorreview@gmail.com. Of course, you can find us on Facebook and Twitter as well. As always, please follow us and tell your friends about us too. See you next time.